What up, guys? This is your boy MTHOK Tobisi, and you are watching Youth of Africa. I'm with my co-host today, which is Mtandene K, the Groovy. So, introduce it.
Sanibona babukeli sanamukela namhlanje ku Youth of Africa yowa. As you know, today we'll also be talking about our challenges as the Youth of Africa, not as the Youth of South Africa but as Africa on whole. So yeah, bafethu sikhulume ngento esichallengeayo njenge youth sibone ukuthi kahle kahle yini lesibambayo yini esihlulayo. As of today, topic yethu will be the most intense, and I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a big today. Today's topic is based on previous comments. I know people were trying to justify in the degree versus skills. So today we're just going to discuss, in details in terms of why I was supporting skills and why I support degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just jump straight. Let me just ask him, why do you prefer a degree over skills?
So it's not about the preference. So I support degrees most commonly because they have a chain of varieties, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a skill, you only have one set of access into a certain category of a worker. But when you have a degree, it means you're proficient in something, you're specialized in that thing, but you can also adapt. You understand? For example, a lawyer can be a lawyer, right? He can adapt to civic law, he can adapt to criminal law, he can adapt to marital law, right? But when you're an engineer, you are only proficient in engineering.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for example, right, I'm going to yazi ukuthi njengamazwe njengezizwe as operating ngokufana. Khona umuntu ozobe engineer, but engineering yakhe is only limited to a certain amount of knowledge based in Africa. Then abantwana base England, base UK, base States, base Canada, they have their own knowledge of engineering.
Okay.
But however, when you're a lawyer, degree in law, you specialize in law, you have access to international law, you have access to civic law, you have access to marital law. It doesn't bound you, unlike he specializing in skills only.
Okay.
You understand? So I think people bazovumelana mangithi mawune degree in a certain thing, you have a chance and opportunity to expand more. Unlike when you have a skill. When you have a skill, yes, you are proficient in that skill, but you are only locked to that skill.
Okay.
So in my defense, that's what I feel like is best about the degree. What's your defense when it comes to skills?
Okay.
Please explain to the viewers.
Okay, guys. So a skill, it's very important because what you are learning in university is very different from what you are doing in the real job. Those of you who have done learnerships and stuff, you might know that it is completely different than the things that you are learning in university. Okay, so for example, I'm a programmer, right? There might be some theories and stuff in terms of how a database must be, but in terms of the actual reality, you just need to develop a database and have all those columns that are needed in terms of the database so that you can be able to store data. So that's why I'm saying skills are much more important than a degree. A degree is just a piece of paper which just I think it's an identification of saying that you indeed completed your highest education and also you obtained a degree, which is it's okay. I'm not against that, but skills are very much important because no one will teach you in terms of how to build an app, how to market your business online, how to observe or to be yourself online, because I know social media, it has a lot of impact and then it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, I understand. Right. Like what you just said.
Okay.
No one can teach you how to do how to do marketing.
Okay.
Now that's why there is a degree.
No.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Okay. No,
People, please listen to this. There's one thing people need to understand. A degree is not just anything. A degree may be a piece of paper, but it is approved evidence you went to a certain place for 4 years in a row, always on time. You did the work that you were required, always on time, correct?
Okay.
So to an employer, that should serve as evidence that you would not mess up his company because you've been able to come to school or to class 4 years in a row at 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or whatsoever. You've been able to do your assignments on time and submit them on time. So that is equivalent to the knowledge of an employer to say, okay, this person can come to work on time, can do his job on time, right? He can submit his thesis or whatever on time, right? So it gives an employer that certain percentage of saying, okay, I can give him the benefit of that and hope he does his best in my company. I won't disagree, guys. Nombono wakho ukuthi to build umuntu on a degree nomuntu on a skill good different. But however, that's why when you finish a degree, for example, when you finish a degree in teaching, you need to do a practical to introduce you to that world of doing a job. Right. But however, when you don't have a degree, a person who doesn't have a degree cannot teach people because he's not proficient enough. He's not knowledgeable enough to do that certain work in teaching. Am I wrong? As for me,
no, finish.
Right? No. As for me,
no, finish your statement.
No,
no, I won't agree because I disagree.
So ungitshela ukuthi wena bonke othisha balapha abantu abanama natural teaching skills. They didn't go to school. Even Einstein went to school, even though he didn't finish school, he went to school.
Let me tell you something.
Even Bill Gates.
Let me tell you something about
wait, my man.
in South Africa.
People, let's agree to these people.
No, finish.
Everyone, even though the rich, even though they didn't finish school or whatsoever, but they did go to school. Do you know why? It showed them about the roundabouts of locals in society.
Can I answer?
Your skill, yes, you can have a skill and be a builder. You can have a skill, be a programmer. You can have a skill, be a data analyst. That's okay. That's fine. It's perfect to have skills. Like I cannot stop stressing about a company, about a country or a continent having enough skills. But however, I'm not saying people should stop going to school and obtaining a degree. I mean, I can't a degree in medical. Never. Psychiatrists are not degree.
No. Let me just try to be specific.
Yeah.
There are some industries that need degrees, and then there are some industries that don't need degrees.
Okay.
For example, a teacher needs a degree because they have to learn about all sorts of levers in terms of when you are doing an operation.
Yeah.
How you must do it.
Yeah.
And then there are some like in terms of skills. I'm still answering your question.
Wait, they said there's a mistake you did. A psychiatrist deals with the mental people, deals with how people operate as characters and understands how their emotions bring about the different characters in them.
The reason why I'm mentioning it is because it's part of being a doctor.
Okay.
A doctor is just not being like a doctor. There are many subfields in the doctor industry.
Exactly.
There might be one which is dealing with headache in terms of the upper body, which is the head.
Yeah.
And there might be someone which is dealing with stomach.
Okay.
And then there might be someone who's dealing with legs.
Yeah.
The lower body part. So it's fine.
Okay. Right. So you agree with a degree is important?
No, degree is important in some specific field. I've seen students out of varsity going to learnerships and doing learnerships where else they are already ready for the job.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Which delays them, right? Like you can't be out of the varsity. You need to be permanent.
No.
Automatically after out of the varsity, you need to be permanent. But what the government is doing is totally incorrect. Because you can't come out of the varsity and then still learn the practical world. Learn how to do things on the practical world instead of the theory.
Okay, listen.
Theory is just a theory. It's just
my man.
Yeah.
Theory is not just a theory. Because I can tell you, there's a quote from a philosopher known as Socrates. Ne?
Okay.
Socrates says, "A wise man knows that he's a fool."
Okay.
And the fool thinks he's wise.
Yeah.
Right. You can replace skills using a degree. Do you know that?
Can replace what?
Skills using a degree.
Through degree.
Yeah.
I must be sad.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So you're good in programming.
Yes.
Ne? Right. Especially when usifundisile programming yakho. You're self-taught when it comes to programming, ne?
Yeah.
Yes, but however, you did go to a boot camp to do your programming.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
that was to wait.
No problem. No problem. It's a boot camp.
Exactly. Right. Now that was to validate your knowledge about programming, is it not? Explain. I want to
yes, I just have to explain the right side of the story.
No, just give it a simple yes.
This guy.
No, people. We need to understand one thing, ne? There's a difference between emphasizing in education and emphasizing in the ability in the proving of your knowledge. Ne? Education sometimes is pointless. Education sometimes has no need, especially when it comes to a building. When a building, someone learns a practical skill. I get it. However, when someone has knowledge in the architecture, that's a different story too. That's a different story because he needs to have a certain specific knowledge when it comes to landscaping, when it comes to trajectory of the land corner. That's a different story, people. Ne? So I'd rather hire someone who has knowledge in landscaping, in architecture, than hire someone who has the skill. Okay. Having a skill. Wait, my man.
Okay.
Having a skill, ne, is good. Having a skill means you have a capability of doing a certain job. But having a degree is proof that you have unmountable knowledge about a certain thing. Knowledge is, let's all agree, knowledge is power.
No.
Information is like
that's why I'm saying knowledge in terms of skills. If I know how to draw a house.
What is a degree? Because degree is proof that you have knowledge. A degree may be a
let me just wrap this up quickly. The reason why I'm saying skills is because it's not like total skills. I'm agreeing with you.
So we agree with you, a degree is important.
This one versus this one. If this one can lack access, it's useless because we need people with skills. We need people in terms of how to do stuff.
Yeah.
We do need those instead of varsity, because those guys who are coming from varsity, they need to do leaderships and internships.
Okay, right.
That's how I see it. Most of the guys, please guys, comment on this.
So right, me and I agree. Me and Nto are agreeing that degrees are important.
Okay, let me put it this way. Degree is just a backup. If you have a skill, continue with your skill. But do have a degree.
So
through what? University, which university? UNISA, which is you can be able to study from home. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Wait.
I'm just curious.
Wait, people, let me understand this. Ne? Nto,
sure.
Or any of you African kids, would you allow a person who's good at lying to represent you in law? Or would you allow someone who has a degree in law to represent you in court?
Why are you breaking law? Because you're doing law university. I'm not going to argue. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And please, and thank you guys for subscribing, because I've seen like it grew, dramatically. So thank you guys. And please watch the next episode. I promise you, I'm going to visit this guy. He's nothing. In terms of being a lawyer, I don't care. I'm just going to defeat him. Even though I'm a teacher, I'm going to defeat him. So please subscribe and like all of our videos. and please subscribe because we're just having fun. Okay.
And another thing, people, please, this is podcast. We're not going to be serious about anything. We just want to pass information,
Just having
knowledge about what we see, and we want you as Africans, as kids of Africa, to understand what we also understand, to come about and try to build a bridge in which our continent builds itself and be better, right?
Yeah.
So we're not saying we're proficient in anything. We're not saying we succumb to the morals of all these things that come about us. But however, we're saying let us as Africans come together as the youth, because I feel like the youth is what has the power to change the outcomes of everything in this world.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we do this, so we can be better. We can grow as Africans, right?
Yeah.
So please, guys, Youth of Africa is for youth. So we are having fun. We're conversing about topics which by people don't like do themselves.
Just subscribe and like also our comment, and then also please share with your friends, because this is the Youth of Africa, and then we're all about discussing all the topics.
Affecting Africa.
Sharp guys, love you.